Y'all tune in to RealLyfe Street Starz, and make sure you go get that app off of Google Play. Download it now.
Basically, what I'm promoting now is a local brand. What I'm doing is taking Dallas and putting Dallas on a different platform. Dallas is really pretentious, so I want to expose that potential. I want to embrace it, and I want to be the best representation of a Dallas streetwear brand.
RealLyfe Street Starz, man. We here with Fresh, man. With Undrst8ed Clothing, man. What's good?
What's happening? What's happening? What's the business?
Man, same old, man. We see out here making noise in the fashion world, man.
I ain't doing much, man. I'm just trying to stay ahead of the rest.
Man, that's real. That's real, man. Let's just go ahead and start off like this, man. Tell us about the clothing line itself, man. The name, how you came up with it. And then we'll go from there, man. What's good?
So, well, the name of the brand is Undrst8ed. The slogan is what's understood doesn't have to be stated. I basically came up with the name because I felt like I wanted to create something that represented me as a person. You know, I used to work a lot of high-end retail, worked for a lot of high-end stores like Nordstrom's. I worked for Ralph Lauren. You know, I even got a dope-ass internship where I got to go work in the Hamptons in New York. So, you
That's
know.
What's up.
One thing that people could never understand about me is they see me, I like to dress hip, you know what I'm saying? I like to I guess you could say I like to dress like a rapper, but at the same time, I love just being fly and being fashionable. So I felt like people just always misunderstood me and overlooked me because they feel like they marginalized me based off how I look.
Man, let's start off with that, man, as far as when you first started to dress. Let's say, you know how everybody else dress, and then, you know, you take it up a notch. At what age were you when you kind of started to step it up a bit on the...
Believe it or not, since birth, man. My T. Jones, my mama, shout out to my mama. She was a fashion designer before me.
With the Fendi onesie.
Yeah, so yeah. Not quite. I had the Oshkosh Bagages. I was a Parkland baby, you know what I'm talking about? But, you know, she got me into fashion at a young age, you know what I'm saying? Like, when everybody was dressing hip and street, she had me dressing like Tommy Hilfiger, Ralph Lauren, like preppy.
Was it more so she just thought you was a cute baby, or was it more so she was into fashion herself, and she just wanted you to be as nice?
I'm gonna be real. My mama was fashionable, but my mama liked pretty boys, so I think she dressed me like the men that she liked. Pretty boys.
Yeah, that's how it go. That's how it goes. So did you take onto it right then, as far as being, you know, 4 or 5 years old, growing up? Like,
not at first, man. I really didn't even like fashion for the longest, man, because she always had me in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, after we go to church, she used to always keep us in the malls, and I always going to fabric stores and meeting seamstress and all this and that, and I used to hate it. You know what I'm saying? You know, when your mama forced you to do something when you're young, you rebel against it. You know, I wanted to be in the house playing Sega or, you know, Nintendo or some shit.
So at what age did you know, normally it's her dressing you, and then at one point in time you start embracing it, you start picking the clothing. Yeah. At what age did you say, you know, let me start picking this out, Mom? I got it.
I say really probably by like my freshman year of high school.
So do you remember what that first outfit was that, you know, when you was in high school, that first outfit that you picked yourself?
Man, you know what, now that I think about it, yeah, I do. It was a South Pole velour set. Because I used to be into Fabulous back in the day and Dipset, man. I used to always watch music videos. Yeah. That's kind of really where I got my real fashion sense, was watching a bunch of music videos and shit.
Wasn't the Dipset like, wasn't that like...
Was the freshest niggas alive.
In the country.
Right? In the country. I used to be like, damn, I want to be that fly, like, you know. And niggas used to scorn me at school because they was like, man, who you think you're a New York nigga? Like,
right.
Nah, I'm Texas. I just like to be fly.
Right.
I like to stand out.
Man, I remember my shit was that dirty South Fubu jersey.
Oh,
I had got that bitch in some Air Max 90s, black and red. I thought I was this shit.
Classic. Then if you had the Air Force One low tops, whites.
Right.
You was that guy.
Hey, well, just talking to a fashion designer, you know, there's do's and don'ts in fashion. Do you think them see-through Air Force Ones, was that a do or a don't?
The see-through Air Force?
The see-through Air Force Ones.
Because them reminded me of them, y'all remember them Melissas?
Melissas.
You know, the girls used to wear the see-through shoes. Yeah, you know, and then niggas socks be dirty and shit, so you know what I'm saying? you don't know if the shoe dirty, if his foot dirty or what it is. Then if a nigga ain't wearing no socks, that bitch look foggy, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying?
Straight up.
Nah, I think that was a fashion don't, man. They tried it though, Can't blame them, but nah, I don't think that was cool ever.
So, when you created your line and you rep the city real hard, you put on for the city. What made you incorporate where you were from into your clothing?
Well, I'm gonna be real with you, man. When I first started doing the fashion, I was doing custom clothing, and I started out doing custom hats. It was a cat named Don C and a cat named 40 Ounce Van that was like huge around the world. Don C was the one that, y'all remember when Jay-Z and Kanye used to wear them hats with the snake skin on the bill?
Right.
Yeah. Like, he made that shit poppin', and I was just like, damn, man, I know where to get the fabric for that shit. I know the seamsters that can sew that shit. I ought to do that shit and just represent that for the city. But I feel like it wasn't nobody here really exclusive, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I wanted to do. So I did that for years, man. I got to work with people like Wale. I got to work with Evelyn Lozada, B.O.B., Mike Epps, Angela Simmons, all kind of people. You know, I even did a lot of shit for Bebe, you know what I'm saying? His whole birthday party 2 years ago when Boosie had first got out, I did all his shirts that he wore for his party. So I got tired of people saying, like, you know, when you do custom, you got to charge for your time, you know what I'm talking about? So if it's taking me like 3 or 4 hours to make a shirt, I'm gonna have to charge you for that. You know, I'm gonna have to charge you for the fabrics, I'm gonna have to charge you for just the time. So I was charging like $200 to $300. So I got tired of people telling me, man, I want to support you, but I just can't afford no $200 or $300 shirt that I'm gonna wear at one time. So I was like, I dig. So I felt like there was cats out here doing it, like Triple D, shout out to them. They was like one of the first cats I seen doing the Dallas thing. And then there was these other cats named Matrimony. I seen them doing it. But I felt like they couldn't do it how I did it, you know what I'm saying? I felt like the missing ingredient that Dallas didn't have was just that high fashion, quality streetwear shit, you know what I mean? So what I wanted to do was break Dallas down to what it meant to me. And Dallas, in my opinion, is really hood and really pretentious and upscale. So I just wanted to create that fine in-between thing, and that's how I came up with the DAL for the city.
Yeah, how long did you actually stay on working on the symbol? How many different iterations did you go through till you got that?
I went through a lot, man. I've been doing that DAL thing probably like 3 years now.
Oh, man.
You know, my whole thing is I like to take high-end streetwear details and just apply it to streetwear. Like, I don't know if y'all remember, but I did the DAL hats, and it was the Balmain print.
Yeah, I definitely remember those.
You know what I'm saying? Them shits went crazy. Everybody in the city went crazy. And I got that influence from 40 Ounce Van in New York.
Real tough.
You know, so I just basically wanted to make the city look fly, man. It's a lot of fly niggas out here, and I feel like no shot or no disrespect to any other designers, but they don't represent the city in the flyest way that I feel like I do.
And what you're doing is you're making it affordable because it's hard out here to get super fly. And I mean, you know, we live in a time in the hip hop age where niggas want to go get them Balenciagas, the Margielas, and wear them Balmains, but you know, it's on a budget. But your clothes are actually affordable. What made you decide to go that route instead of, you know? Man,
just being smart, bro. Doing business for so long and really, you know, wanting to capitalize everything. Like I realized with the bigger brands that all they do is take from the smaller brands and upcharge. So I kind of wanted to be like the Robin Hood and take from the bigger brands and charge and make it affordable.
I like that.
Because I feel like I look at like Zara, H&M, Forever 21. I feel like they're the real competitors to the bigger brands because they're smarter because they take the same look and just make it affordable for everyone to be able to get.
Real talk. And speaking of those brands, where exactly would you say your style derivates from? Is it something overseas that kind of inspires you? Is it something like New York? Is it like where do you kind of pull your inspiration from?
Man, really
mainly?
Everywhere, bro.
Yeah.
I get it from New York. I get it from Paris. I get it from movies, music videos, but a lot of it come from Dallas. That's why I do the DAL. And what I try to do is just bring light to different things in Dallas that people don't necessarily pay attention to. Like I did a D Magazine inspired hat, which I got in trouble for. But fuck them.
Hey, you know you ain't popping until you get in trouble for something that mean they watching you.
Exactly. You know, but they tried to they underestimated me, man. You can't ever underestimate your enemy, man.
Man,
you know,
that's real.
You might think I'm small, but the streets don't think that. You know,
man, that's real.
I'm out here.
Speaking of being out here, man, how well traveled are you, man? Have you been to pretty much all the major cities and kind of incorporated some of the fashions in there? Or?
Most of them. The only place I haven't been yet is Chicago. I'm a little nervous about Chicago, dog. I done heard too many horror stories about Chicago. I heard you can't wear your hat a certain way, you can't wear certain colors. You know, I'm a fashion nigga. I might, you know, I'm a colorful nigga, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no telling what I'm gonna wear. But nah, I've definitely been a lot. I've been to like all the LA, New York, and Vegas, and Miami.
You ain't been overseas yet?
Not yet. But you know what? I just came from Agenda out here in Vegas, and I just linked up with some cats from London. So I see a London trip coming real soon, man.
Man, that shit crazy. Is there anything besides clothing that you've ever wanted to, or fashion that you've ever wanted to dabble in that you're trying to also put your hands in now?
I really want to get back into cut and sew. Like my custom game, that's where I really stand out the most. You know what I'm saying? That's where I can really showcase my madness with my fashion. So I would say cut and sew is definitely something I want to get back into and push heavily. I just want to make that a little more affordable for people to want to buy it.
Now I know you having a brand that is desired, and also being in the streets, you get a lot of cats that just run, that you know, or you grew up with, that running up and want that free shirt. How many free shirts do you think you done had to give out? Just trying to keep it real.
Man, over 5 years, I lost count. I lost count 2 years ago.
Right.
But you know what though, on the cool, at first I didn't look at it like that, but free shirts is really just free marketing. Right. You know, because honestly, as a clothing designer, the more people see people in your shit, the more they're going to want to buy it. Mm-hmm. So I had to learn to like give free shit to people that was going to bring me something back. You know, homeboys, they asked for it, but I'm like, nigga, if you support me, spend it. I ain't charging you too much. You spend 20 on a dime set. I mean, you spend 20 on a kush. Why you can't support a shirt? You know what I'm saying?
Real talk. And that kush ain't even gonna get you too much.
Yeah, at least with me. Excuse me, baby. At least with me, you gonna get you something. You gonna win. You gonna get you some trim. You gonna get you something. You gonna get you something.
But so, is there any brands that you like to wear besides your own, or do you just pretty much wear your own?
Man, honestly, bro, I really just wear my shit, and when I get tired of wearing my shit, I try to wear it in a way to where I don't get tired of wearing it.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when you're building a brand, people have to relate you to your brand. So if I was to come in here and I had on another brand, you're gonna look at me like, well, I thought you was a clothing designer.
Real talk.
Why you ain't wearing your shit? So yeah, man, I just try to wear I do wear other things. I ain't gonna lie. Like if I'm going somewhere exclusive, I might pull a Givenchy shirt out, or I might wear some Yeezy shit, or something exclusive. I like to just really stand out.
I noticed the shirt you have on, you can't buy that nowhere.
Nah, man, it's actually me, man.
Right.
I just kind of distressed it, man, and put the holes in. I kind of wanted to put that rock star element to it.
Right. So you think you're gonna do any of those for the people? Cause that's a tight ass shirt.
You know what? I appreciate it, bro. I do these upon request.
Okay.
I wanted to do these. I wanted to mass produce these, but I know everybody ain't feeling the holy shirts.
Right.
So I just tell people when they buy it, for a little bit more, I can distress it for you.
These people don't know what they feel till you put in their face, man.
That's true.
Hey,
they gotta feel it.
Is it what else do you dabble in as far as we're not saying what else, but is it only shirts? Are you into pants, drawers, hats?
Man, I want a brand, dog.
How far you want to take it, man?
I want underwear. I want socks.
Yeah.
I want everything.
Real
I
tough.
aspire to be like the next Damon John or Russell Simmons. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
I want to do it major. I don't believe in doing anything big or small. It's major.
Who do you look up to as far as, I know you just mentioned those names, but who do you look up to as a fashion designer as far as seeing their storyline go from, here to there?
Well, definitely Damon John, the FUBU cats.
Yeah.
Like, I like to take it all the way back to when they was doing it. Him, Carl Kanai, Ralph Lauren. I think Ralph, his storyline, like a lot of people don't know, like he really wasn't born into that money. He took a $50,000 loan and turned into a $7.5 billion business.
That's
I got to pause on that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I look up to Russell Simmons. I even look up to Kanye, man, because Kanye was a rapper who he mastered the music game, and then he flipped and mastered the fashion game.
Now I see you got on Yeezys, But do you think his clothing line is a little embellished because of his popularity in hip hop? Because I be seeing some of his shit and I just be like,
I mean, definitely it's hype, man. I ain't gonna lie. Some of his shit is fly, but not everything. You know what I mean? I think, when you have a huge platform, it's easier to sell your merchandise. You know what I mean? And when you as popular as him and as controversial as him, it's hard not to sell it. You know what I mean?
Do you think exclusivity works or hurts a brand when something's like
I think it works if that's who you're targeting. You know what I mean? A lot of people these days want exclusiveness, but they can't afford exclusiveness. And that's kind of why I try to offer exclusiveness that you can afford.
So besides when your kick game, what's some kicks that you spent the most? You was like, damn, I gotta have these, man. What was them kicks and how much you spent on them?
Man, my girl sitting over there. I can't say that right now.
What you better realize, I put it like already know.
I put it like this. When I was younger, man, the products was like the first thing I was into. Those was like $5.50.
Right.
I was into the Margielas before all the trap boys out here got on it. I remember when I was wearing them, niggas was laughing at me because they was like, you got on them look like them girl high wedge sneakers. And I was like, you gonna be on these in a couple of years. Don't even worry about it. So I love high-end sneakers, but I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Them shits is uncomfortable. So now I kind of just dumbed it down, and now I like Yeezys, I like Diodoras, I like
man, them Diodoras, man.
Sauconys. I'm kind of taking it back to the original, to the like 80s and 90s. You know what I'm saying?
Is it kind of ironic when you see cats like doing what you was doing 3-4 years ago, and they thinking they really just getting fresh?
What 2 Chainz say? Burp, burp. Right. Yeah, man. I be laughing at these cats, dog, because they and you know what? I'm happy to see the trap cast, the hood cast. I'm happy to see people stepping their dress game up, man. I ain't gonna even lie. When they think they doing something, I look at them as like they my sons, man. Right. I father that shit because I've been doing that shit, And if you know me, I was one of the first. I'm skinny, so I was the first cast on skinny jeans. Yeah. One of the first cats out here wearing high-end sneakers, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Wearing the oversized shit, you know what I'm saying? My girl tell you, man, I'm a little bit ahead of my time sometimes in the way that I dress and even in the way that I design. That's
real. And I know earlier you mentioned 2 Chainz, man, where rap artists are taking their, clothing a little more serious, with custom clothing. Who would you think, as far as just who you've been watching, is the most stylish rap artist that's out, today?
One, can I give you like...
Give me top 3.
Top 3? Okay, let me think. A$AP Rocky.
Yeah.
I'm going to put 2 Chainz in there.
Most there.
And this last one, who I'm going to say? I mean, I don't want to say Kanye because I'm going to say, let me think. Travis Scott.
Oh, real
I
talk,
think Travis Scott be fly as fuck.
You know who, man, maybe it's just me, but Chief Keef be getting fly.
Chief Keef do be fly.
I be like.
He be dumbing it down, too.
He be dumbing it down. Chief Keef got a different style, man.
Right.
He got that Chicago flavor, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he all right. I think T.I. be flying his way. I think, Diddy, of course. Diddy, swag guy. My favorite of all time, he's older, Cameron. I think Cameron is like the sauciest, most flavors guy, fashion guy of all.
He patented his own pink color.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, that's
hard,
when you
bro.
know you serious.
That's hard, bro.
What about in the city? You think it's any local cats in here?
I pay homage, man. I think Mr. Hit That.
Yeah,
he be flying his own right. Boy. You know what I'm saying? Smith II, he a designer out here in Charles. Mm-hmm. He be fly. My nigga Big Hub be fly for the fat niggas. You know what I'm saying? Big and my kinfolk Fat Pimp, he be fly.
Yep. That boy Yellow Beezy be.
I was just about to say Yellow Beezy and Trap Boy Freddy. I done seen them step the game up too with the I call them the Twinkle Boys. I was wearing them Gucci's, them twinkle ass Gucci's.
Real talk.
But they be fly though. They be fly. Ain't gonna hate.
I would say, what's the if somebody had to only get one item and step out fresh, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's some shoes, belt, hat, shirt, jeans, that's gonna be name brand designer. And everything else, be regular. What would you tell them to go with?
If they player, I'm gonna say the shoes.
The shoes.
Cause if they like women, that's the first thing a woman look at is the feet. She gonna look at you from the feet up.
Real talk. Hey, y'all hear that? Say that again, cause I don't think
For the players, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? For the gangsters, I'm gonna say that jury.
Real talk.
That jury.
Yeah, real talk.
Man, how important is the jury? Because I don't think boys really understand how serious it is with this jury
That
game.
jury gang it's gotta be a fool, man.
If you can afford it.
If you can
don't kill
afford
yourself
it.
trying
If
to-
you can afford it. I was just recently in Vegas, man, and I met Nick Bendy from New York, man. And if y'all don't know who he is,
Man,
look him
Nick,
up, man. This nigga, Nick, look like water. Like, I wanted to just talk to him like when my shit tucked in. But yeah,
But
man.
your shit ice water too.
Oh, it's cool, man. It's cool. Appreciate it, man.
Who made?
These are some little bait pieces,
Bait
man.
pieces.
Yeah, I like fashion, man. So I ain't really seen too many cats other than Chris Brown rocking the bait. And shout out to Chris Brown. Chris Brown be fly too. I give him his props too. That Black Pyramid shit kind of hard too.
Yeah, but so where do you see your brand in the next 5 years?
The next 5 years, man, I see my brand really being at the top. Ultimately at the top, man. I look to have my own store, like an official Undrst8ed store. I'm only gonna be selling my shit. I look to have flagship stores, not only in Dallas, but I want to have one in LA. I want to have one in New York, and I even want to have one in Tokyo, Japan.
Yeah,
So, like I
you
said,
popping in Japan, you gonna always be popping.
yeah, bro, them Japanese, them chinks, boy,
Man,
they be
them
fly.
when Babes came out and went away, came back again.
Came back.
And-
Actually, Babe never left, man.
Right, that's what
They never
that's what
left.
they don't get because it's always been popular.
It's always been popular, bro, and it's just the way to me, I get a lot of inspiration from the Asian culture, because I think, to me, they're the freshest people on the planet,
bro.
because it's just how they wear it. They wear it with, like, they don't care. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was in Vegas. I seen some of the most craziest shit that I would never see in Texas. I seen a cat with a shirt probably down, like, here, and his pants was cut up here, and he had on some towel boots with the chains and the little nose ring with the bandana, but he was fly with it.
Right. I see you collaborated with Center,
Yeah.
and y'all got the dad hats.
Yeah.
Man, I'm fucking with the dad hats. What made you go with that instead of the traditional, like ball cap?
The wave, man. The wave is different now. Shout out to Center too. They the first store to ever really give me a chance. Like,
Yeah.
on a
Shout out to
professional
Center.
level. And the cat, their designer, which is Hans, me and him kind of, the aesthetics of that whole little DAL, how we did that, we wanted to take it back to the 1990s low days, like the Ralph Lauren. We wanted the classic Ralph Lauren, and we wanted to keep it simple, kind of preppy and minimalist. We didn't want a lot of shit on it. You know what I mean?
Is it hard to get like a boutique like a Center or Guns N' Roses? Would it be hard for somebody like you to do, or is it just?
No. What do you mean, like, as far as get your brand in the stores?
Yeah.
It is, if you don't have the streets on lock. And
yeah.
the game I could give to any designer, up and coming designer that's gonna watch this interview is, before you go to the stores, make the stores know who you are, and the way you do that is you get in these streets and you make everybody love you in these streets, have everybody that's somebody in your brand, have them going to the stores and asking why they not carrying you.
Yeah.
And that's gonna make the stores really more interested in you.
What
Because if you go to them and they don't know who you are, they gonna shit on you. I'm gonna just keep it real. I got shitted on by a lot of these stores out here. And instead of getting mad, I got mad. I keep it 100. I got a little upset at first, but then I had to realize, you know what? Sometimes people don't see your worth. You gotta show them your worth. So I just had to turn up in these streets.
If somebody just pays somebody once a week, or a couple different people once a week, to walk in the store and ask for someone's clothing brand, do you think that's smart marketing? Or?
Hey man, whatever. You gotta get it how you live, bro. By any means necessary, what I say. I just I wouldn't put that out there though.
How does it feel when those tables turn, when you in the situation where now it's like, now you being requested? Do you put that tax on it, or you still just like?
it's you know what? I say keep it classy, man. 'Cause
Right.
at the end of the day, somebody had to go through it. You know what I'm saying? And it really, you got to be thankful for it, because if those no's and them shitting on you, you supposed to let that turn you up. You know what I'm saying? You
Real
don't
talk.
let it build. You don't let it tear you down. You let it build you up. You know what I'm saying? You take it with a grain of salt and just say, all right, you ain't fucking with me now. It's almost like that chick that you wanted that didn't want you.
Yeah.
And then you start popping. You know what I'm saying? Now she all on you.
Come
It's
back
kind of
around.
like you got to take that approach with it.
Real talk, real talk. And just a curiosity, if you could design or style for anyone, dead or alive, who would it be?
That's a good question. Style or design for? Definitely Pac, man.
Real shit.
Because Pac was one of the realest, man. I don't think we'll ever see. I mean, we see a lot of people say they like Pac, but I don't think we'll ever see anybody just with them genetics, man, and what he stood for.
And speaking of Pac, you know, you have Young Thug.
Thug.
Who has come out now, and he, of course, embraced wearing, you know, skirts, you know, and I mean, to the fullest as far as the full women clothes. What do you think about that part of fashion where the men are embracing, like with the Jaden Smiths and the things where they're embracing women clothing like so strongly now?
Yeah, man, I'm just a little too old school for that, bro. I don't know. I feel like, you know, skirts, I put it like this. I couldn't be out with my lady, and we both got on skirts, and somebody said, I like your skirt, and who? Me or her? Like, I just want to feel player, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not knocking anybody that like the skirts, but just me, nah, that's too European for me, you know what I'm saying?
Real talk. And I heard you say something about the Asian culture earlier, and there's a dude, if you ain't seen him, named Rich Chigga, and he dropped a video with a fanny pack, rocking the old school 80s fanny pack.
Yeah.
Could you see that making a comeback at all?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Fanny pack with the hat that flip up, like Fresh Prince. Yeah. Why not? You gotta take it back.
So, do you got anything up your sleeve right now that you working on that you gonna change the game with, or you know what I'm saying? Or are you? How does the creative concept work with you? You know what I'm saying?
Man,
because I know sometimes it could become stagnant, or just when you pop it so hard, it's like, why make anything else?
Right. Well, let me see. When you become stagnant, man, as a creative, you got to find those ways to keep you inspired. So for me, it was traveling and meeting people from other places and seeing things in other places. As far as being popping and not wanting to get more popping, I think that's a terrible idea. I think you should always aspire to be better, because it can always be better. You know what I'm saying? You might be popping now, but why not be more popping? You know what I'm saying? I feel like as a creative, you should push the envelope. You should keep pushing yourself to the max.
I know predominantly you see African Americans wearing your brand. How does it feel when you see people in other cultures and other ethnicities wearing your brand?
Oh, I love it, man. I love it. It's nothing like seeing somebody in a different race pick up something, because for some reason, I'm going to say it, man, for some reason when white people wear black people brand, they feel like they're not supposed to wear that. And I find that kind of baffling, because we don't feel like that when we go and rocking their shit. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's cool, man. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, I know Tommy Hilfiger had that situation where he had made mention he didn't want black people wearing his clothing.
Biggest fucking mistake you could ever do.
That's what I'm gonna ask. Do you think that's the biggest mistake a person could make, that
man.
shouldn't wear their clothing, or they should limit their clothing to a certain genre or type of people?
No, if you're smart, man, you keep your mouth shut. Even if you feel like that, you don't say nothing, man. Money is green. It don't matter who's giving it to you. Money is green. That's the only color I see.
Now we not on no hating right here, but who out here who fashionists do you think just trash? Like, that's trash. And we not hating, but we gonna be real honest.
Before I say this, like Pimp say, fight come with that. Right. Nah, I'm just playing. You know what, bro? If you want me to be real, it's a lot of trash out here. And I don't want to say no names in particular, but I just say I don't think nobody fucking with me.
Right.
I just say that.
You got any shout-outs?
Shout out to y'all, man, for reaching out to me.
Right,
RealLyfe Street Starz.
Thank you for coming.
I appreciate you for having me. Shout out to God for creating me. Shout out to the people that's watching this, that's inspired by me, that's hating on me, or that will be inspired by me. Shout out to the stores I do business with, Guns N' Roses. Shout out to Princess, Center, you know. Shout out to anybody that's ever supported me, most definitely.
Could you let the people know where we can get the clothing from and your IG and how they can get in contact with
Man,
you?
you can get the coolest clothing brand from Center at Mockingbird Station, or you can go downtown to Princess at Guns N' Roses, or you can go to my website, www.theundrst8ed. If y'all have like a little ball and shit, that's the point, that's the cue. And look for me at events, man. I'm all over the events. I do Kickspos, I do Kicks Exchange. Shout out to Frank Louboutin, Kicks 101. Shout out to Mundo from Kickspo. I'm everywhere, man. I ain't hard to find, man. Everybody know me. Make sure y'all know me.
Man, Fresh, we salute you, man. Everything you're doing, man. We love it, man. We're going to keep supporting it. We're going to keep turning up for you, man. Let them know that slogan one more time.
What's understood ain't got to be stated. You know
Amen.
what I'm talking about?
Amen. Fresh, you are a RealLyfe Street Star, man. Come
Let's
fuck
get
with
it.
Y'all tune in to RealLyfe Street Starz and make sure you go get that app off of Google Play. Download it now.